talk about, like, your witness collapsing.
I don't even know if she'll testify at the trial.
Dylan Mortensen, right, who is the eyewitness. He went in the middle of the night, he killed 4 roommates, and she is what they called an eyewitness in the affidavit. She said she saw a man of medium build with bushy eyebrows wearing like a COVID mask, that they made eye contact with one another. She was frozen in a frozen shock phase.
Please.
And he went by her. She went back into her room. She locked the door. She stayed in her room until almost noon the next day as her roommates were bleeding to death. What kind of a person would go back into their room and not call 911? No one can understand the decision making, but no one's been in such a situation. Talk about, like, your witness collapsing. She may not even be able to give the prosecution what I just said.
Exactly. What happened was, what you related happened in the first interview the police had with Dylan. Over that week and the next week that followed, there were 3 more interviews. Those 3 interviews, she seemed to change her story. She seemed to change her story. She seemed to change her story. She said that perhaps it was sort of a dream she was seeing. She couldn't be sure. Then she said that one of the victims had gone down the stairs, and that wasn't possible because the victim had died in her bed. And then she admitted, finally, that she was just too drunk. That too drunk was the words that Ann Taylor used to come to any reasonable consideration of what happened that night. And then finally, on the 4th interview, just before they were going to arrest Kohberger in Pennsylvania, the Idaho cops showed her a picture of Kohberger and asked, "Can you identify him?" And she said, "No, I can't. Can you identify him?" And she said, "No, I can't." And she said, "No, I can't."
What kind of a person would go back into their room and not call 911?
Not only does she not call the police for 8 hours, the first people she calls are not an ambulance, not the police, but she calls fraternity people to come to the house. She calls fraternity people to come to the house. They come and they call the police. And that really weakens her use as a witness. It weakens her use as a witness between being too drunk, between saying that she might have been dreaming the whole thing, and then not being able to identify the photograph. Well, the prosecution's big witness I don't even know if she'll testify at the trial. I don't even know if she'll testify at the trial.